I want to take you on a secret journey to a land of plenty, a land filled with so much beauty and so much abundance, a land teeming with amazing natural resources where everyone can have their fill of anything they might want. Are you ready to take a ride? Okay, kittens. Fasten your seatbelt and hang on tight. It starts with a simple math game. But don't you fret and don't you worry, because this game is very easy. And this time we win. Okay, let's begin by taking 1 acre of land, which is 4,840 square yards. But that doesn't mean much, does it? So let's use a visual. 1 acre of land is about the size of an American football field minus the end zones. 1 acre is 10 times the size of a basketball court and 2.5 times the size of a hockey rink. 1 acre is 3 times the size of an Olympic-sized swimming pool. Okay, so now you have a good visual in your mind. An acre of land is a roomy little plot of land. Now, on this 1 acre of land, let's place 3 modest houses, which can easily fit on this land with plenty of room to spare. Just regular, ordinary American houses, not a mansion, but nice little houses. The average U.S. house is about 2,723 square feet, or approximately 0.05 acres. And in each of these 3 houses, let's place 3 people. That means we will have 9 people on each acre of land. 9 people on a football field isn't very crowded, is it? I don't think you could find anyone who would say they felt crowded with 8 other people on that football field. So here we are with our 1 acre of land and our 9 people. And I got to thinking about it. We are told, and I don't believe it for a moment, but we are told that there are currently about 341,869,197 people in the United States as of July 12, 2024, according to the Worldometer. Yes, there's actually a Worldometer. I'll put a link to it below so you can see it. So I was wondering, if we took the population of the United States and fit everyone into 1 acre of land with 3 homes and 9 people, we would need 37,985,466 acres of land. Sounds like a lot, doesn't it? But it's not. We could actually fit the entire population of the United States into the state of Wisconsin, which has almost 42 million acres in it. And we'd have 4 million acres left over. That's right. The entire population of the United States could fit in the state of Wisconsin with plenty of room left over, and no one ever feeling like they were crowded and didn't have enough room to move. Well, now, of course, in our little world here, we're going to need more room for things besides houses. We're going to need office buildings for businesses, hospitals, churches, schools, etc. So, just for the fun of it, let's tack on the state of Minnesota, which has 55,640,028 acres in it. That's even more than Wisconsin. But hey, let's be generous, right? So there's plenty of room for businesses too now. But we're going to need farmland for crops and cattle. So let's be really generous and take the states of Iowa, Missouri, Arkansas, and Louisiana and combine them all. That would give us a total of 148,186,182 acres of land. In our very generous game here, we have used up only 6 states of the United States of America, which is made up of 50 states. That leaves 44 states with nothing in them but nature and beauty. There's no people there because they're all living happily in Wisconsin. But hold on a minute here. Let's think big, shall we? Let's go for the gusto. Let's go for the whole entire world, baby. Okay, we are told, and I don't believe it for a moment, that there are currently over 8.1 billion people in the world. But I like nice, even, dividable numbers, so, just for the sake of our game, let's say there are actually 9 billion people on this planet, just for fun. So where might we place these 9 billion people? Well, if we have 9 people per acre, we're going to need 1 billion acres. And it just so happens that the size of the United States is about 2 billion acres. That's the lower 48 states. If you were to add in Alaska and Hawaii, you might get to about 2.5 billion or so. But let's just stick with our about 2 billion acres in the lower 48. So what this means is that we could stick the entire population of the world in 1/2 of the United States, and no one would feel crowded or as if they didn't have room to move. Now, of course, once again, we're going to need office buildings for businesses, hospitals, churches, schools, etc. So let's be super generous and use up the other half of the United States for that. We probably wouldn't need that much, but just for the sake of discussion, let's do it. Of course, in a real situation, you wouldn't have all the people on one side of a country and all the businesses on the other. They'd be interspersed just like they are right now in the so-called real world. But I'm just giving you this half and half idea to make the visual easy. But wait, we'll need lots of farmland for crops and cattle too. So let's be freakishly, ridiculously abundant and throw in all of South America. Why not? We got a shit ton of land here. Let's go for it. And keep in mind that there are 4,409,600,000 acres in South America. It is such a vast and amazing continent, more than twice the size of the United States lower 48. And just perfect for crops, don't you know? Of course, we wouldn't need that much, but as I said, let's be outrageously lavish here. And yes, I know that some of the land has mountains and lakes and places that aren't habitable. That's why I'm being so darn generous here. So here we are, the entire population of the world in the United States, with all our farms in South America. And what about the rest of the world? Well, no one's there. It's just teeming with beautiful land and nature and animals. Think about all of it. Canada, Greenland, Europe, Russia, China, Australia, Africa, all empty, all full of potential, all easily able to handle billions more people and farms and businesses, etc. So, do you see what I'm getting at here? Do you get what I'm saying? The idea of overpopulation is absolutely ridiculous. It's foolish. It's insane. And while I don't for one moment believe there are 8.1 billion people in the world right now, even if there were, who cares? It's meaningless on this big, beautiful planet. Get back to me in a few thousand years' worth of continual growth, and I'll let you know if we've made a dent in things. So why would we be told the world is overpopulated? Why would the news agencies and governments constantly harp about the overpopulation and that there's no room and there's not enough and blah, 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 all while telling us at the exact same time that we all need to take in many, many more migrants because we don't have enough people? Why would they drill this into our heads? Someone's full of shit here, aren't they? And it ain't me. So why would they do it? Simple. For control. For the illusion of lack. for the building of despair and emptiness, for the manipulation of supply and demand, to frighten people, ordinarily good people, who get scared and start behaving viciously toward one another. Mine, 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 because they're all afraid. They're not awful people, they're frightened people. And frightened people do stupid things. I'm gonna get mine, too bad for you, sorry, but my family comes first. You know, that kind of thing, and we all sit there fighting with one another. Because we believe there isn't enough to go around. There's not enough land, not enough farms, not enough resources, not enough water. Water, the most abundant resource on the planet. But there's not enough. We have to fight over it. And why concentrate filthy crowds of people in large cities and leave vast expanses of land empty? Why do it? Because you want to keep your cattle contained, that's why. That's right. I said cattle when I was talking about people. Because it's no different. The farm you're on right now is no different. The working class must be contained and easily accessed. They must be kept crowded and in a state of lack, so they will hunger for more and do what they are told. And should they rise up, they're easily quelled and controlled in their tiny, crowded space. And that's the truth of it, my friends. But let's not focus on what the evil people of the world do. Let's focus on what the good people of the world do. Good people like you and me. Remember what I've said here, and remember to be fruitful and multiply in all the things that you do, whether it's having children, growing a garden, having lots of pets, or creating art, etc. And I will leave you with this. What can 9 people in 3 houses on 1 acre of land do? Well, the houses themselves will take up a total of about 1/4 an acre. That leaves 3/4 acre of land, with each family getting 1/4 an acre. 1/4 of a football field. What can you do with 1/4 acre of land? Well, according to the Backyard Homestead, which I will link to below, you could harvest 1,400 eggs, 50 pounds of wheat, 60 pounds of fruit, 2,000 pounds of vegetables, 280 pounds of pork, and 70 pounds of nuts. That's right, 1/4 acre if you do it right and use every square inch wisely. Many people don't realize just how much food you can grow in a small space. If you live in a city, you just don't know, but it's quite possible. And if you're not a gardener, you could use your 1/4 acre for something else. A workshop, an art studio, a small museum. Or maybe just a nice big backyard with a swimming pool. Hey, it's your 1/4 acre, right? Do what you want with it. But whatever you do, do me one favor, please. Please. Stop being afraid. Stop worrying. Stop living in fear. Don't believe the lies. Don't fall for the illusion of lack and despair and nothingness. Know in your heart that this world is simply gigantic and full of goodness. Turn your head from the bad people. Do not give them 1 more ounce of power and give them no quarter. Do your best to live your life in kindness and peace and plenty.